Hi, I'm Timothy Sweet from Sanremo Victoria, and today we're standing in front of the F18 and we're going to be looking at how to set up and calibrate those touch buttons. Let's go. Above the group head on the F18 you'll see a temperature display. This will switch from a temperature display to a seconds counter as soon as you activate a shot. After the shot is finished, and about 10 seconds later, it will switch back to a temperature display. The F18 is a volumetric machine. This means that it allows a certain amount of pre-programmed water to pass through a flow meter chamber that will start and stop depending on what you've programmed the machine to do. The timing of the extraction will be more so controlled by the dose and the grind setting of your coffee. On the F18's main display, you'll see some options. To get into the Barista Menu though, you're going to have to press down on these three buttons at the bottom until the screen changes. At this point, you're in screen number 1. To get to screen number 2 to change the programming of the volumetric options, press this arrow at the top. The volumetric control is controlled by this option down here on the bottom right hand side. From here, the first option is to control and set group head 1, key 1, which, if you'll see, is this button over here on the top left hand corner. At this point, the current setting is at 96 mils of water passing through the flow meter chamber. To change this setting, I can either press plus, or I can tap minus until I am happy with the setting. Once I am happy with the setting, I simply save that setting by confirming with a tick. At that point, the programming has been set. Now that I'm happy with that setting, I can move on to the next option by pressing this arrow at the top. I will now be able to change on group head 1, key 2. Key 2 is the option on the top right hand side. I will be able to cycle through the menu to be able to change group head 1, key 3, which is the bottom left, and again to get to key 4, which is the bottom right. I can now move on to the next group head and cycle through the same options. On group head 3 on a 3-group machine, you'll have the same options again, and after you cycle through those options, you will also be given another option to change the seconds of which the T-tap activates. This is the tap that disperses the hot water for your long black or tea dose. Once I'm completely happy with all of my settings, I can then press the return key to walk myself back out of the first menu, out of the second menu, and then back to the original screen. Now my settings have been set on the machine and I'm ready to make coffee. You also have the option of programming the machine the old-fashioned way, which means that from group head 1 or group head furthest on the left, if you hold down the bottom button, the one with the Sanremo logo on it, until the lights on the machine flash, it will allow you then to copy and paste any of the settings that you want to set from group head 1 manually onto group head 2, and in the situation you have a 3-group, onto group head 3. So I'm going to do that now. Watch as the machine then switches into programming mode. The lights are now flashing and you have an indicator that lets you know that you have 30 seconds of free time to change any of the settings. If you don't touch any of the buttons in that 30 seconds, the machine will return to a normal operating mode. But if you start and stop any of these buttons, that function will be then saved, copy and paste it across all 3 or 2 group heads depending on your machine. After a while, the machine will return back to normal and the lights will stop flashing. At this point, the machine is ready to use again as per normal. Thanks for watching. I hope you got a lot out of that, and stay tuned for more information about Sanremo equipment coming out soon.